Have you ever wondered what would happen if two of the most powerful titans on the planet faced off in a final duel? Today, we explore a clash that could change everything. Behemoth versus Shimo. A battle that will not only test the strength of these giants, but could also shift the balance of the world. Both titans, with abilities that verge on the impossible, are destined for a colossal showdown. Their very existence threatens to level cities, destroy ecosystems, and redefine what it means to be the ultimate apex predator. In this video, we'll break down every aspect of this epic fight. The physical makeup of both titans, their devastating powers, their intelligence, and the strategies that could lead to their victory, or mutual destruction. Stick around until the end. Before diving into the details of this fight, we must understand these two colossi. Behemoth, known as the Titan of the Earth, is a massive creature straight out of legend. Its body resembles that of a giant mammoth, with tusks as large as skyscrapers and fur that seems to have withstood glacial ages. Behemoth isn't just a symbol of brute strength, it's also a guardian of ecosystems, balancing nature with its mere presence. But beneath its majestic exterior lies a fierce warrior capable of flattening entire forests and crushing enemies with its overwhelming weight. On the other hand, Shimo is the Titan of Ice, a beast seemingly born from the planet's oldest glaciers. Its skin, covered in unbreakable ice plates, acts as natural armor, reflecting light like a deadly diamond. Shimo doesn't just command ice. It can summon Arctic storms with a single roar. Unlike Behemoth, which represents stability, Shimo is an agent of chaos, bringing destruction and eternal frost wherever it roams. These two titans are not only opposites in their nature but also in their purpose. While Behemoth fights to preserve the world, Shimo seems intent on destroying it. Their confrontation is not just a battle of power, but of ideals. In the ring of titans, anatomy is everything. Behemoth, with its massive body, is built for close combat. Its thick, nearly impenetrable hide makes it resistant to physical attacks and projectiles. Its tusks, capable of splitting mountains, are its primary offensive weapon, while its gigantic legs can generate shockwaves that destroy the ground for miles around. Additionally, Behemoth can use its immense weight to crush opponents, a simple yet incredibly effective tactic. Shimo, on the other hand, is a master of adaptation. Its icy armor makes it resistant to direct impacts, while its sharp claws can slice through even the toughest rock. However, what truly sets Shimo apart is its ability to control ice. Shimo can create deadly ice structures, such as spikes, to trap or wound its opponent. Furthermore, its environmental manipulation allows it to turn any battlefield into a frozen death trap. The question is, can Behemoth's brute force overcome Shimo's adaptability? Intelligence is a critical factor in any battle, and here both titans have their unique advantages. Behemoth, while not known for its cunning, relies on instinct and combat experience to anticipate its opponent's moves. Its fighting style is straightforward but no less effective. It uses the environment, whether by toppling trees or using elevated terrain, to gain an advantage. Shimo, in contrast, is far more calculated. Its control over ice allows it to plan attacks with precision, creating traps and limiting its enemies' movements. For instance, it can freeze the ground to hinder Behemoth's mobility, or use ice stalactites to strike from a distance. This difference in styles makes the clash even more fascinating. While Behemoth relies on brute strength, Shimo bets on strategy. Which will prove more effective in this fight, experience or tactics? This is where things get truly epic. Behemoth and Shimo are not just enormous, they also possess powers that transcend the natural. Behemoth, as the Titan of the Earth, has a deep connection to the ground. It can create earthquakes with a single strike, destabilizing opponents and destroying any structure nearby. Additionally, its ability to manipulate roots and trees gives it a unique advantage in forested terrains. These powers make Behemoth not only a fighter, but also a titan capable of altering the environment to its advantage. Shimo, by contrast, commands ice and freezing temperatures. It can summon blizzards that reduce visibility and freeze its enemies. Furthermore, its ability to craft ice weapons, such as spears or defensive walls, makes it an extremely versatile adversary. But its most lethal attack is its icy breath, capable of freezing an opponent in mere seconds. When these powers collide, the result is pure destruction. While Behemoth attempts to bring Shimo down with its strength, the latter uses its control over ice to stay on the defensive and strike from a distance. In any titanic battle, terrain can be both an ally and an enemy. For Behemoth and Shimo, the battleground could entirely change the outcome of their fight. These titans not only rely on their strength and abilities, but also on their surroundings to maximize advantages and minimize weaknesses. The battlefield, then, is not just a stage. It's an active participant in this colossal war. If the battle takes place in a forested or mountainous environment, Behemoth will be almost godlike. Its connection to the earth and nature gives it overwhelming dominance in these spaces. Every tree, rock, and root could become an extension of its power. Behemoth could use its massive legs to generate earthquakes, destabilizing Shimo's icy formations and turning the ground into a minefield of cracks and fissures. Moreover, trees and rocks wouldn't merely be obstacles. Behemoth could use them as improvised weapons, uprooting trunks and hurling them as massive projectiles toward Shimo. It could even manipulate tree roots to trap or slow its enemy, reducing Shimo's mobility. In a mountainous region, the situation becomes even more extreme. With its size and strength, Behemoth could bring down entire sections of a mountain, creating landslides to bury Shimo. Its physical resilience would make it immune to most of the landslides it causes, while its enemy would have to contend with the geological chaos. This terrain plays entirely to Behemoth's strengths, not only because of its ability to manipulate it, but also due to its immense weight and resilience, allowing it to thrive in unstable environments. In a forest or mountain, Shimo would be at a disadvantage from the very start. On the other hand, if this battle takes place in a frozen environment, the tides shift dramatically. A polar setting, with sub-zero temperatures and landscapes covered in ice and snow, would be Shimo's absolute domain. This titan is built to thrive in extreme cold, and its control over ice would turn the terrain into its deadliest ally. In an icy field, Shimo could quickly freeze the ground, drastically reducing Behemoth's mobility. Behemoth's enormous weight, which is an advantage in other terrains, would become a liability here, as it could crack the ice and become trapped in crevices or frozen lakes. Meanwhile, Shimo could move nimbly, using the icy surface to glide swiftly and launch attacks from multiple angles. Additionally, the frozen environment provides Shimo with a natural arsenal of weapons. It could create ice spikes as sharp as blades, using them to encircle Behemoth and limit its movements, or even hurl them as deadly projectiles. Its ability to summon blizzards would also play a crucial role, reducing visibility and making the environment even more hostile for its opponent. But Shimo's most lethal weapon would be its ability to summon Arctic storms. These storms wouldn't just be devastating for Behemoth, they could completely alter the battlefield, covering the ground with an even thicker layer of ice, and making any attempt at maneuvering nearly impossible. In this setting, Shimo wouldn't just be a formidable opponent, but an unstoppable force of icy destruction. But what would happen if this battle unfolded in neutral territory, a place where neither titan has an inherent advantage? It could be an open plain, a desert, or even a rocky plateau. In these cases, the battlefield wouldn't be a deciding factor, and the outcome would depend entirely on the individual abilities and strategies of each titan. In neutral terrain, Behemoth would have to rely on its resilience and brute strength to dominate Shimo. Without trees or mountains to manipulate, its ability to generate earthquakes would be its most valuable tool. Behemoth could use the flat terrain to close the distance with Shimo quickly, attempting to crush it with its immense weight or strike with its tusks. Shimo, on the other hand, would have to depend entirely on its ice-creating abilities. In neutral terrain, it could transform the battlefield into a more favorable setting by generating icy barriers to block Behemoth's attacks, or creating ice traps to slow it down. This scenario would test Shimo's creativity and adaptability to the limit. The key here would be the duration of the fight. If the battle drags on, Shimo could gain an advantage, as it would have more time to alter the environment and wear Behemoth down with strategic attacks. However, if Behemoth manages to close in quickly and use its brute strength from the start, it could take control and secure victory. Beyond determining the winner, the battlefield would also have catastrophic consequences for the world. If this battle took place in a forest, massive fires and the destruction of entire ecosystems could result from Behemoth's attacks. In a frozen environment, Shimo might unleash an eternal winter in the region, affecting global climates. Even in neutral terrain, the magnitude of this clash would be enough to permanently alter the landscape, Mountains could be reduced to rubble, plains turned into craters, and rivers diverted by the sheer force of these titans' attacks. The battlefield is not just a stage for this fight, it's another victim of the unleashed fury of these giants. What kind of impact will they leave in their wake? The location of this battle will be as important as the titans themselves. In a forest or mountain, Behemoth will be the clear dominator. In an icy environment, Shimo will have absolute control. And in neutral terrain, we'll see the true extent of their abilities and strategies. After analyzing every aspect of this battle, it's clear that both Behemoth and Shimo have what it takes to claim victory. Behemoth is an unstoppable force, a titan of sheer strength and endurance. Meanwhile, Shimo is a lethal strategist, capable of adapting to any situation and using its environment to its advantage. The winner of this fight will depend on who can best exploit their abilities and adapt to the terrain. But the real question is, who do you think would win in this epic showdown? If you're passionate about titanic battles like this and want to uncover more about these colossal creatures' secrets, subscribe now. Here, we explore the most epic fights, the most powerful titans, and the most fascinating stories in the Monsterverse. Don't miss a single video. Click the subscribe button and join our community of fans. The next showdown could be even more epic, and you won't want to miss it. Do it now and be part of this monstrous adventure.